I see blessings.
But who knows?
I mean, no one look too serious if I wanted to come to makeup party.
You see yourself in my eyes.
Hi, my name is Evipre. Is that okay?
My name is the Crazy One. Sorry.
Just leave it.
Ever wanted a space where you can feel free and express yourself without holding back? Yeah, right. Welcome to Real Talk.
Hello everyone and a wonderful day to you all. You're welcome to your favorite space on YouTube. My name is Henry Kalama Jr. and this is Real Talk. On today's show, we'll be talking about domestic violence. Not just talking about it, we'll be giving you healthy tips on how you can live a relationship that you've been suffering domestic violence from or in, as the case may be. So without much dilly-dallying, let's head over to the gang. Let's see their faces.
Hi, my name is Nemo.
Hi, my name is Ibrahim.
Oh, very great. And
Hi everybody, good day. How you doing? My name is EP Berezi. I am a civil servant stroke event planner stroke gym instructor stroke workout junkie and any other thing that can find to give me extra cash. Legitimate wisdom.
Hello, it's Nengi Atia again, your favorite troublemaker.
Hi guys, my name is Ruth Igbejili. I'm a media personality. Good to be here.
Hey guys, I'm Manasseh Paul Wake. I'm also a broadcast journalist. Good to be here.
Right, stop now, listen up. My name is Terry Banks. I'm a celebrity dance icon and fashion model, runway model, dance choreographer, and I love everything once again, the arts.
Good day everybody. My name is Inmoti Joshua. You can call me Maripuzo.
Hello, my name is Annie and I don't know whether to call myself a CEO, but I own a brand in as artistry.
Exactly.
Okay, my name is Shivosa, alias Bemo Valley. First in my community, last in my neighborhood. I am a big shoe in the Big Eye comedy. Yes.
Okay, these guys and myself, we're talking about domestic violence. But first, what is domestic violence? A lot of persons mistake this particular question for just the battery, the punching, and no, it encompasses a whole lot. There's what they call emotional abuse. Are you aware that men do suffer domestic violence? Trust me, a lot of men do, but they just tend to keep it up because of the toxic masculinity. And I won't blame them, Sha. Imagine a guy telling you, well, my wife beats me for house. You're going to laugh, right? Because it's funny, but it's the truth. A lot of men suffer domestic violence. So join me and the Real Gang as we dissect issues and questions surrounding domestic violence.
I've been violated when I've been small.
let's be honest, if they beat each other.
A lot of men suffer from domestic violence.
Just run. That's basically it. Just run.
A gay man can also be violent to his gay partner.
I've seen that all the time.
Okay.
Same sex. What's the word again? Same sex. Same sex. So
You need to know the person you're getting married to. Most persons don't even know the person they are getting married to. First of all, domestic violence is one thing I frown at. I'm not in support of domestic violence. Like my dad would always tell me, any man that raises his hand towards a woman, they call them, to some persons they say they are animal. But another thing we have to look at it is domestic violence is not just based on a particular gender. Men too are being violated domestically, female are being violated domestically, so it's on both sides. But for me, I can't remember being violated domestically, never. But I know some persons that have been violated domestically and we know the result of it.
It's not pretty. It is not something I would wish even on an enemy. It's not a pretty sight.
I have been a victim and I walked out.
And your face is really smooth.
yes, by my parent, by my mom. Yes. Yes, by partner. Yes.
Violated by my partner? No. My friends? No. My parents? No. The answer is no.
Generally, no. I have once, and it was a terrible experience. And it's left psychological traumas in my head. Every time I get to think about it, it's bad. It's really bad. Yes, it's bad.
My partner never violated me. But now when I small, I them violate me. Yes, that time I was very stubborn. Very stubborn. When they send me message, I go, they do like say, na me do this thing. They will say, go and buy this thing. I will say, no, I will not go. When my mother violated me very alright, I was normal. She started me frag my head correct now.
I've never been a victim of domestic violence because I always make it known to anybody that if you try it, Okaka prison is not far from my house, you will be there.
No.
Nope. Never been a
Apart
victim.
from that beating now for us when we get small.
No, domestic violence. I don't think that counts as domestic violence.
Not go talking abroad though.
I mean, if your parents are spanking you for doing something.
domestic violence.
The only one I can think about is it was actually my mom, but that's what domestic violence is.
Excuse me?
Where they panabit you from. But
no, that is disobedience violence.
I will say that domestic violence.
Yeah, same thing here. I've not been involved in domestic violence. Yeah.
Yes, I do. I think they do.
Definitely.
Yes, a lot.
I was going to answer that first. You now come answer it first. So you'll be answering.
I have to speak for my
Okay.
gender.
Okay.
So sorry.
No, go ahead.
A lot of men suffer from domestic violence and they are in silence. You know, it goes a long way and people never want to talk about men. But each time you find out that you have a woman being domestically violated, the whole world screams out. But a lot of men are dying in silence. Men go through it every day, psychologically, physically, emotionally, you name it. Men go through a lot.
And then the violent men now, I have seen a situation whereby some women are, you know, very strong and vibrant, like for my compound, which other week when it happened. A mega have been no one calling name, but making no verse. A mega woman, can you imagine? A mega get a mind, carry another girl, go answer task, go flex and money where they want to cook soup for us. Mega take and go squander for us task. When him come, now so the woman, if he comes, he fight. Frog brab. Now the woman come, they shout, Mega, now come help me, oh. But when we go reach for there, the man don't faint.
Yes, men do suffer from domestic violence. As a matter of fact, some few studies I've done recently, few research I've done recently, I think men are at risk more than the ladies now.
Yeah, men also do suffer from domestic violence. There are some kind of women actually that beat up their husbands. Yeah.
Yes, men do suffer from domestic violence.
Absolutely, yes.
They do.
A very big yes.
I used to have a neighbor whose wife was beating him almost every time. The wife was a police officer and he was a bloody civilian.
Yeah.
And when he misbehaves, the wife sits on him because the wife was like,
she's like bigger than me, right?
Huge, and he was a small man. And you can imagine how that goes. And you hear the man screaming, he did beat me, he did beat me, he won't kill me, he won't kill me. Yeah, men suffer.
Men suffer it a lot, and the fact that they don't talk about it.
Yeah, they can't talk about
No,
it.
not that they can't.
Yeah.
It's just, I don't know.
Do you know what it feel like when you come and you know the feel like when you tell your friends that your wife beat you up yesterday?
This girl, don't to call her name. She used to slap her boyfriend sometimes, so so it exists.
Yes, of course, men do suffer from domestic violence. I grew up in a neighborhood that was very ras. So yes, we used to have neighbors who would beat their husband up, fight with their husbands and all that. Yes, it's just that the ratio between the male and the female for the male is higher than the male. For the female rather is higher, that you have their husbands beating the wives.
Self-defense. Self-defense, yes, I'll do it. And I'll do it very hard. Self-defense, I'll do it very hard.
I wouldn't have never been in support of domestic violence or violating someone as a whole. I've never been in support of it. So I don't think I would rather let the situation be than violating someone, you know, violating my child, violating my wife, or I even find it hard to even violate myself.
Why would I want to put myself in such a situation that the only solution will be to violate my partner? Like, so if I don't violate my partner, what happens? I like to do the opposite. That's for me, speaking for myself. So I don't think that's something I should worry about.
Well, I can't answer that right now because I don't see myself in any situation that will amount to me doing that. But if I find myself in such situation, I can't really tell.
No, and I do not think that there's never only one situation, one choice you have. You have a choice to or to not. There's never a choice to just do something. It's either A or B, it's either yes or no. So it's a matter of choice. You choose to do it or you do not choose to do it. So it's not like that's the only choice you had. No, you chose to do that thing, not because that was the only choice you had, you get. So if I'm in a situation like that where probably I have been pushed to the wall, you know, so hard that the only thinking in my head now is to bounce back with, you know, a hit out.
I go call these people defense people. Self-defense, what do those people their name self? Police defense, civil defense, yes. Now those people will come defend me now. They will really curious. I go get mine violate me from my own house. I no go will put notice, will take, will give. I'm in the curious. Till now, seven say the old me will come violate me for what? It's not I go knock. I'm waiting no nice and go no. Huh? Yes.
I won't. I don't see any reason. I can get angry, like really, really get angry. Say a whole lot of words that might make the person feel very bad, but I don't think I would want to hit. But I know I have once hit my boyfriend, like a slap.
We can't really speak to these things until they have been placed on the spot. People react differently. I am not trying to make excuses for bad behavior, right? I have been put on the spot severally, and on few occasions I have failed myself, right? I have failed myself on few occasions. This is like a confession now, but yeah. So that's why I said there have been occasions when I have been able to control myself, like really think and then walk away, right? But there have been occasions as well where it was just like reflex, like on the spot reaction, without even, you know, I don't know, you don't even have the opportunity to think. Okay, now having seen that, I can now look back and say, okay, this is about to happen. This person is pushing me to the wall. Walk away. You get? Yeah, we're all human beings.
There should be this human in us. It should actually leave this. I don't think, no matter how tight it is, you can't violate someone else because that's the only solution, that's the only option you have. It's more like lay down on who you are and your personality. So for any reason, for whatever price, whatever reason, there's no need to violate anyone else.
A slap on the face, yeah, because he actually said something really annoying, which I apologized immediately, not even after I left.
Okay, before the slap, you apologized after the slap.
I apologized after the slap because it wasn't intentional. Like, let's say I was really mad, but I know I couldn't do any more than that slap. Yeah.
Well, as for me, I've done that before. I won't lie. My own, I even added a punch to it because.
Okay, you're one of the people who are into domestic violence.
Not at all.
No, I am not into it.
No, not at all.
No, just
see, the funniest thing is
from a lady, you don't feel it.
The funniest thing is this guy is huge. Like, he's huge. I know if you fight him.
I don't think I know. So, you know, this let's say the girls, they are naturally very jealous, yeah. So if I have a girlfriend and she sees me with another female, she gets so furious, yeah. Or she sees me with a male, yeah, she gets so furious, and then they end up beating up the girl. The guys too, and sometimes they have this violent sex, yeah. Violent sex, they tend to beat up. Maybe they enjoy it, I don't know, but
domestic violence doesn't matter.
It's actually two different things. There is domestic violence which happens in the house, domestic. It happens within home space,
okay.
right? But then there is violence against the LGBTQ and the other alphabet community.
I feel like the question is not
so it could happen in the house, it could happen out there, it could happen anywhere. So violence against these communities happen
generally,
in the house or
outside. And generally it shouldn't happen. I don't think it's fair that because someone is the way you think that they are, that doesn't really conform with your own ideology or whatever, you should go against them. They are who they are, you are who you are. It's a free world.
Yes, I think so. I think some time ago I saw a news. This actress, intimidate, I think I'm pronouncing the name right. Her younger sister, who's a lesbian, was abusing her lesbian partner.
Fine. Domestic violence, like I said, it's not gender sensitive. A woman can be violent, a man can be violent. If you find a violent woman and she meets another woman, it doesn't change the fact that she's violent. Like I said, it's not gender sensitive. A gay man can also be violent to his gay partner.
I've seen that all the time.
Okay, so a lesbian lady could be violent to her lesbian partner. It's just normal, it happens. It's just the question of the person.
It's just like saying domestic violence doesn't exist. The fact that they are there, they have a community of themselves, doesn't mean it doesn't happen there. So that's all I'm saying.
Yeah, the LGBT community, they suffer from it. They suffer from it a whole lot because they do not have a voice. They cannot speak out. They're in the closet about who they are, what they are. So they suffer from the homophobia of the world today. So it's terrible.
Yes, they do. Not just from other persons. A lot of times I've actually found out that their own partners too sometimes inflict domestic violence on them.
That one's strong, I don't know. But then fit they undergo, who knows? Because that one I know fit talk and finish because I don't really understand the way that they live their own life. A man go, they go shoot waiting no good for man body. What is that? But that is their own life. I don't have anything to talk about here. I never see where then they violate each other.
Yeah, I've also seen videos of female partners that's lesbians, fighting on the streets and say, oh, you cheated on me. And in my head, like, hey, whoa, they cheat on this once again. Well, I don't understand. So, yes.
Okay, yes, I think they do. Because, see, the truth of the matter is these are humans. Yeah, they are humans like us. And it's so unfortunate they find themselves in the situation they are at the moment.
So, if the person can abuse the opposite sex, can also abuse same sex. What's the word again? Same sex. Same sex. So it's common. The character is within, so it doesn't matter who. Doesn't.
I think you have spiritual problem. One, or the person uses jazz on me because I don't see how I'm going to be in love with a man that slaps me, just a slap. Talk more of a man that beats me up. Even my own parents, at least for this age, no, it's not carry, but much younger, it's a way of bringing up your child. Yeah. Or for a relationship, fuck, what is that? My pastor would always say, you beating your wife is like you beating yourself because you are one.
It's a personal thing. As I said earlier, if the man, let's say a man is abusing his wife, and maybe the wife leaves the house or she leaves the marriage, and after some time, oh, the man went for counseling and is now a whole changed being, and if she wants to go back, oh, why not? I mean, in life, none of us is perfect in life. Some people might be doing these things and they do not know it's wrong, but haven't been spoken to, counseling, prayers, and all of those things, and they tend to change.
It's psychological, and it has to do with esteem. Obvious times, these partners have made them feel like they are nothing. They will not amount to anything. They've actually run down on their esteem. So it's basically going back to what you feel is the best for you. So I think it's psychological.
My advice is you seek help because it's toxic. When you're being violated and you still return to your abuser, it's either your abuser is a narcissist who has total control over you, mentally, psychologically, knows you in and out. I advise you seek strong help because it's really hard detaching yourselves from these very persons. And these very narcissists make it very difficult for you to detach yourself. So I feel that when you get to that bridge, you actually need to seek help, because at that point in time, you have lost yourself.
For me, I think it's simple. If you have been violated, if you feel that you have been abused, seek help. Talk to a counselor, because we can't really understand the whole of these things. These are really deep issues. So if you have been hurt, you have been abused, seek help. Only a counselor can really get to the root of what your problem is.
I feel like you should have self-confidence. I feel like one of the reasons why we go back to abusive relationship is because we probably do not have confidence of ourselves, and we feel too attached to a particular, I don't know how to put it, but just have self-confidence. You are okay, you are beautiful. There are so many people out there that want you. You're somebody's spec.
Sometimes you can't actually tell when someone is genuinely changed. Sometimes you play a very fast one when you're emotionally, okay, fine, I want this person in my life, so I should just accept that they have changed. So it goes beyond just accepting the words the person says. You have to listen words. If possible, give the person a lot of time. Okay, after an incident of domestic violence, I think you should just give the person some time. It's not something you rush back into, because change, even if change is constant, change is a process. So if someone abuses you, it's not just, especially when it's consistently, it's not just going to take 1 month before the person just begins to understand himself. It could take a very long period of time. So you have to be very careful of who the person is. Has the person changed totally, or it's just a camouflage? So you have to look at that also.
When they return after they don't beat them, disgrace them. Say them like the person I make them return now. So my advice to them is that they should take correction for their domestic mistake that brought upon the domestic violence and made them to be violated. Yes, they should take correction. They should, some of them, they feel like saying that them get right. Even if you are wrong, they claim right. So make them to caution themselves, put themselves in order and try to make peace to reign.
I see it as, forgive me for using this word, a sickness. Because you know something isn't good for you, but because you are getting 1 or 2 perks out of it, you still want to stay. Sometimes you might not be getting any perk at all. Like I said, if you are being violated, you should leave, because your life matters, your mental health matters, you matter. Someone who is violating you domestically doesn't really care, no matter how much they portray that they do.
If you're being violated, like I said earlier, report to the authorities. If you go back to your abusers, it's like it's just as if you're enjoying whatever that has happened to you before, and you don't want anybody to come to your aid. That's how I see it. If you're being abused, report them to the authority. Going back is not an option. And some persons go back because they are being threatened by these persons, either with death threat or all sorts of threats.
I think that's the case many times. I saw a movie made, I think that's the title of that movie, made on Netflix, where she was suffering domestic violence, and then at some point she finally left the house. She found a home for people who suffer domestic violence, and the woman that takes care of them, they told her many of these women always go back. It takes them about 7 times to get to their senses, or when they finally get to the, you know what I mean, don't use word, but I know you know what I mean. First things first, speak to somebody about it. Second things first, take your bags and run away from that witch or wizard, please.
Then in a relationship, it's not healthy, and I don't know how much of love you have for this person that you would make you want to, stay there.
We find a couple of persons who are actually violent, who have been violated severally, and then you get to say, stay there, stay there, stay there. And then gets a point where the woman just dies.
I'm not say the TV did that serious. So
is it the case you gave about the gospel singer, Osinachi? Now, no one actually knew what she was going through until she died.
We have
in
no
that kind of
that.
situation, I think it's best just save your head. Save your head, leave that space before you get more than you bargained for.
If the man is willing to change, why not? But if he's not willing to change, then why would you be there?
Seek counsel. Seek counsel from a very reasonable person. You might not know how helpful it will be. Seek counsel, because I know what I'm talking about. I actually talked to 1 or 2 people who actually made sense, and the healing process started. It's a healing process for me.
The thing is that if you are suffering from a domestic violence in the area of relationship, make you try understand with your partner, because some of our partners them are lion. Yes, we're gonna try understand each other. You understand? Waiting your partner like when if you do, she go hate him, or if he do this and that, go bring quarrel. We're gonna just align then settle.
walk away if you can. Not if you can, walk away. Because lately I've had several cases. I've seen several cases like that of what's her name, Osinachi. She died, and a lot of people have been dying. And recently there's this man that was stabbed by his girlfriend. So it's just it's not something you would want to encourage anyone. So just walk away.
The thing is, most of these violence are actually in marriages. Before you get married to a particular person or your partner, you need to know the person you're getting married to. Most persons don't even know the person they are getting married to. They just study the person, they don't know the person's character. All they do is they just jump into the marriage just because they want to get married, or that's a trend happening now in the country. So they just jump into marriage. Before you get married to a particular person, try to know the person's character, the good and the bad part of the person.
Well, in fact, when it comes to domestic violence, I know they even mince words. I have to now come and speak the pidgin. There's no point to mince words. The reason is we've had cases of people who's lost their lives as a result of domestic violence. The very recent one, the gospel singer, she died. We heard that because her husband was beating her. She had internal bleeding. She was rushed to the hospital and all of those things. So I don't think there should be compromise when it comes to domestic violence. And I think some of the reasons that we have lost lots of female in terms of domestic violence is the fact that we have this African mentality of, hey, if I come out from this my house now, people go think, say, oh, you know good to divorce, oh, my mama go say you know good. And we also have parents who would want their children to be in that marriage, despite the fact that the marriage isn't going according to plan. So I don't think there should be any mercy for domestic violence. I know if the women want to look up to their children, what will their children say, or they're leaving the marriage, but mostly if it's one off thing, we can understand, but if it's consistent, I don't think you should stay there.
Don't keep it in. Don't think that you staying in that relationship will change the person because the person is saying that you are staying and you're putting in effort. If you are violated domestically, talk about it, walk out of that relationship. Your health, your life, and you matter, not the relationship, not the person.
I don't want to undermine anyone's story, but yeah, if you feel your life is threatened in any way, walk away first, then think about the marriage later.
Domestic violence for me is not something I could advise anybody to say, okay, this person is going to change, so let me just stay.
You don't change.
And see it. No, it doesn't. As long as a man can lift up his hands to slap you, tomorrow is going to hit you.
Strangle you.
And if he does it continually, definitely you're going to die of it.
Exactly.
Also, a woman that disrespects her husband continually in public, definitely one day she's going to raise her hand on him. And after slapping him, especially if he's a gentleman that doesn't hit a lady, definitely she's going to kill you.
In my own words, Masari, it's run away. Just flee, just run.
Welcome back. I'm pretty sure, just like myself, you've learned a thing or two about domestic violence and ways to avoid it. And even if you're in one, I'm sure you've learned how to get out of such a relationship, because it's very toxic. And if you find yourself because in many cases people think that's the best they can have, so they tend to find their way back to their abuse and it may seem hard, but trust me, life gets better. Leave such a relationship. Like you rightly said before, we made mention of the justice thing that would die that I don't start to say, I mean, she was a victim of domestic violence and she got around the worst possible outcome. She died. Please, if you can, even if you cannot, please get help. Create a platform, go to a safe space where you can get help from people, because most persons tend to stay there and say nothing. Please, if you're in such a relationship, speak up. I beg you, please speak up. Anyways, that's it for today on Real Talk. My name is Dennis. As always, so join me in this same space for another one of